民主党のバイデン大統領が大統領選から撤退を表明しました。後継にハリス副大統領を推薦したということです。
はい、よろしくお願いいたします。
まずはバイデン氏の撤退表明から一夜明けたと思いますが、今ワシントンは何時でしょうか？
私たちも土日緊張感を持ってこれ見守っていたんですけども、まさかこれほど重大な決断をですね SNS で発表するとは思いもしませんでした。ハリスさんでこの新しい雰囲気といいますかね。
Chat, it has officially never been more Jover than it is right at this very moment. It has been the greatest honor of my life to serve as your president. While it has been my intention to seek re-election, I believe it is in the best interest of my party and the country for me to stand down and to focus solely on fulfilling my duties as president for the remainder of my term.
I learned so much. I learned black, white, all colors, all backgrounds. But I mean, come on, man. Men, women, gay, straight, everyone deserves a shot. You know, come on, man. You know the thing. You know what I mean? You know the thing. You know what I mean? Come on, man. Well, I have to do
It's
is
Jover.
I have to continue talking about things. Come on, man.
Update from our pirate correspondent. Biden should be in a nursing home. When did he post this? Literally just now. My man.
And we saw the Hill, all the news reporting Hillary set to replace Joe Biden. I called Roger Stone, I called other sources. They said, yeah, that's the word. They're really going to try to replace Joe Biden in Chicago with Hillary Clinton. Hillary is swooping in to be the nominee above Big Mike, Gavin Newsom, Governor Whitmer,
Big Mike,
Kamala Harris, all of them. This is huge. It's all over the news. They're actually going to try to do this. Is how arrogant and crazy they are because they want her.
You are high if you think that Hillary Clinton is coming in here. There was some unhinged Hillary Clinton campaign staffer that now has a Substack that wrote some shit the other day that was going around the Beltway, and people were like, maybe it is her time. Maybe, now that we've learned some lessons from 2016, she can come back. No, there was one person that wrote about that. Shut the fuck up. This ain't happening. I think pushing the coconut pill meme harder is a good idea as a result of this. If it can get anybody in the libs to look at into this actual meaning, yes. Always remember, we are coconut pilled as fuck until November. The second this shit's over, if Kamala clinches it, it's back to ACAB, okay? Okay? Keep that shit to yourself. Let the libs think that we're doing unity, okay? Let the libs think that we're all in this together. We're holding hands. We're singing Kumbaya. We're putting aside like the Bernie bro shit. And the second that she clinches it, be like, yo, fuck 12, bitch. Fuck 12. She fucking sucks, okay? I can't wait to rag on this woman. I'm so fucking coconut pill right now. Yeah. All right. So from this moment forward, Kamala Harris, the best candidate we got. Okay? She's the best the Democratic Party can do. Fuck 12 forever. No, we love cops around here. We love cops. Why Biden finally quit from Politico? Quote, when the campaign commissioned the new battleground polling over the last week, it was the first time they had done surveys in some key states in more than 2 months. Oh my God. That is incredible. And honestly, not that surprising considering that Joe Biden didn't think the polls were real. The man told Lester Holt that the polls were not real. New sources close to Senator Joe Manchin, independent of West Virginia, said he's considering re-registering as a Democrat and throwing his hat into the ring. This is politicking. This is politicking. He is trying to leverage Kamala Harris. He is not actually going to seriously run for the nomination, okay? Keep that in mind. He is 100% trying to leverage his position. And Kamala Harris has the opportunity to do the funniest thing right now. Threaten him. Do some Hillary Clinton-ass shit. Threaten him with an IRS investigation. Threaten an ethics committee. Do it. Threaten his ass. And if he comes out and it's like, oh, Kamala Harris seems like she's, trying to save her own career. What is she afraid of? Is she afraid of a rural Democrat taking her position? Call him racist. Get every single celebrity that has endorsed you to come out and call Joe Manchin a fucking racist. Say that Joe Manchin kneecapped my predecessors key landmark legislation. Oh yeah, I did want to talk about this. Olivia Nuzzi, Washington correspondent for New York Magazine, said the Democratic Party told its voters that they could not be trusted to select a nominee when they effectively shut down their primary process. Now they're installing a new nominee. American voters happen to like democracy. I predict some backlash. Nope. Will some people bitch about this? Yes, of course. Will there be enough backlash for it to matter? Nope, because there wasn't enough backlash within the public during the primary for there to be an actual primary. They don't care. It is the donors. And again, I have to point out, AOC was correct in that Instagram Live when she brought up valid criticism that the voting population had less sway over this process than the donors and party elites. That much is correct, and it's not wrong to point that out. That Joe Biden didn't pay attention to the polls, he didn't pay attention to the wills of the voters. Let's hear from the libs.
President Joe Biden has just announced that he is dropping out of the 2024 presidential race. In a stunning letter that was just released moments ago by his campaign on X, formerly known as Twitter, Biden wrote, quote, that it has been the greatest honor of my life to serve as your president, and while it has been my intention to seek re-election, I believe it is in the best interest of my party and the country for me to stand down and to focus solely on fulfilling my duties as president for the remainder of my term. He goes on to say that he will speak to the nation later this week in more detail about his decision.
If I were to have my Christmas list, very first thing I want Kamala Harris to come out and say. 1, Project 2025 is not a Donald Trump issue. Donald Trump is a symptom of a larger problem within American politics. The Republican Party is an existential threat to the civil rights, liberties, and existence of millions of people in America and across the world. That is the very first thing that I want her to say. Next, the next thing she needs to say is that we are not going to, under my administration, capitulate to reactionary right-wing framing on immigration. My family are immigrants. I come from an immigrant background. I will not sit here and allow right-wing immigration policies to stand between people and their futures. So we are going to reverse, within my first 100 days, Title 42, the restrictions on the new border policies, curtailing like how many people are allowed to cross. We are actually going to have a streamlined immigration process. We are going to begin that immediately. I am talking to my closest advisors, immigrants' rights advocates, legal experts, and border officials to talk about how we can streamline this process to make sure that there are protections for people who want to come into this country and make a better life for themselves, as well as pursuing people who are undercutting the American public by hiring migrant workers and also exploiting people who are desperate for a better life. We're going to ensure that it is not simply the cost of doing business to hire migrant workers and then just pay a fine whenever you're found to be doing that. There will actually be consequences and there will be protections for those workers because they are not coming here to steal jobs. They are making this economy run. That's agenda item number 2.
Now, of course, Alex, this comes after that disastrous debate performance by the president in late June. It was after that stoked so much anxiety and panic within the Democratic Party. And despite a campaign that up until this point had been maintained, even just yesterday, that he was in
Real question is, does he keep to the second and now first debate? He has to. He has to keep to the second debate. He would look so weak if he didn't show up to the debate with Kamala Harris. He would look so scared and so weak. He has to do it. His ego won't allow him to not go. I'm sure there are plenty of Republican dumbass operatives that are saying, don't do it. Don't go into a debate. Don't acknowledge her as a legitimate president or as a legitimate candidate. Keep running they stole their own election. Like, they can't win. They're so bad at winning that they had to steal their own primary. Someone's telling him that. but it would be a stupid mistake not to go into it. You think there is a context in which, no pun intended, a context in which Kamala Harris can't debate? She's actually kind of good at it. The one thing she just doesn't need to do is like laugh a lot. Just don't laugh a lot and like turn on prosecutor brain. What do you think the best strategy in the debate would be? Hammer in that Donald Trump is a failure of a president. He wants to deport 15 million migrants. Talk about how at his RNC, like coronation, there were mass deportation now signs. And ask Donald Trump to his face, how are you going to deport 15 million people? Tell me exactly how you're going to round up 15 million people. What are you going to do in the interim when you have rounded up hundreds of thousands of people and are trying to process them across the border? We don't have high-speed rail, so you can't put them on trains, so you're going to put them on buses, and then you're going to send them to the border for them to be processed and go back over. How are you going to, house them? Are there going to be, I don't know, zones where you concentrate them, where they camp out in these concentrated areas? It feels like what you were describing sounds very familiar. I'm not sure the American people would be down for putting 10 to 15 million people in camps.